Hi, ladies and gentlemen, it's Dr. Zyrowski, and let me tell you, I like to keep things easy. I like to keep things simplified. A lot of times people watch my Dr. Nick Zyrowski YouTube channel, and they'll see that I have like 400 videos on there on different health topics, and they look at all of the information, they go, oh my gosh, the topic of health and losing weight is so complicated. But the fact is, we have to keep things simple. And when I work with people in the clinic, I've worked with thousands and thousands of different people, over 15,000 individuals in my career. And I will tell you that I do everything I possibly can to keep it simple. So when I came across this article, How to Eat a Little Better Right Now, it caught my eye immediately because it doesn't say how to follow an extreme diet, how to go on a weight loss binge, how to go to the gym and run your heart out until you lose all the weight that you wish to lose, but how to eat a little better right now. Because if you can just make a small change over time, a small change yields enormous results. Imagine this. Imagine if you changed 1%, if you made a 1% movement and better choice every single day. Well, in 100 days, that's 100% change. So 1%, though it seems very little, because look, we're all human. We have our human nature of wanting to just have everything right now. We want to lose weight. We want to lose it right now. If we want to accomplish anything, we want it now. But the fact is, good things come with time, and anything that's sustainable will always take time to achieve. And I tell patients all the time, recently, just the other day, I had a lady who had said to me, look, I'm very upset because I've been, working with you now for, we're going on 6 weeks and I've only lost 5 pounds. And I said, oh, wow, that's really good. And she's kind of like, well, what do you mean really good? Last time I did a big diet, I was losing like, 15 to 20 pounds a month. And I said, but how did you end up after all of that? The fact is, she's working with me because she gained all that weight back and some. And so healthy weight loss comes slowly. But how to eat a little better right now, eating a little better right now will yield you long-term results. And we don't put enough emphasis on food psychology. And this article here will help us with that. Okay, so let's dive in. How to eat a little bit better right now. I'm going to start right here. Let's face it. If you are like most people, you want to be as healthy as you possibly can. Chances are that if you're trying to get healthier, one of the first areas you might think about is your diet. Okay, fact, right? If you truly care about your health, right? I talk all the time about taking proper supplementation and exercising, but diet is critical. I always say it's the key tool that you have in your toolbox in order to make this happen. Let's go ahead and talk about some of the expert advice. Here's the best advice on Chinese food therapy, Western medicine, and my experience in the clinic, okay? First of all is go slow. Inhaling your food in 2 minutes between meetings or while you're running out the door isn't healthy. I am totally guilty of that. The inhaling in 2 minutes between meetings type of thing. If I'm taking care of an enormous amount of patients during the day and I'm going from, one place to the next and seeing one person after another. Sometimes it's just like a matter of inhaling some food and gulping down a drink and running off to the next person. It's healthcare today for a doctor, folks. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. This is all about digestion, and in order to get the most nutrition from your food, you need to digest it fully. This starts with slowing down and taking the time to chew your food. You actually begin the digestive process in your mouth, which is 100% factual, through the breakdown of carbohydrates by chemicals in your saliva. If you're gulping down your food on the run, your digestion is suffering. So this is a good point. From a psychological standpoint, it's a good thing to go slow and enjoy your food, right? Because how many people go to a restaurant? I know a lot of people who do this. They sit down and they literally just stuff their face very quickly, right? It's like they get this huge meal in 5 minutes, they're completely done. Whereas from a psychological standpoint, it's like, oh, the food's gone and now I need more, right? Versus if you took the time to consciously slow down, enjoy your food, enjoy eating, chew it properly. And this is a big deal. They say the digestive process starts in your mouth. Chewing your food properly is very important. Many people are not chewing their food properly. It causes gut issues for them. So We want to make sure that we're chewing our food adequately, because if you are not starting that digestive process properly in your mouth and it's going straight to your gut does not have teeth in order to just grind this stuff up. It's relying on enzymes and everything else. Many people who have digestive issues, this is one of the first steps. I mean, it's one of the most simple things that you can do in order to start improving your gut health is chew your food properly. Okay, so then after you gulp down your food, you want more, but take the time to make sure that you're enjoying your food. Go slow. And if you go slow and you're conscious about your eating, you'll almost guaranteed to be eating fewer calories in a short period of time. Next is plan your meals and your snacks. People who are busy or tired tend to grab what's handy, not what's healthy. Fact. I do it all the time if I'm not planning my meals. If you know that you're going to be too tired to make an elaborate meal when you get home from work, plan ahead and have something nutritious pre-made or easy to heat up instead of another frozen pizza or dinner from the drive-thru. Okay, this is really important, and this is a big problem for anybody who has a very like hustle and bustle type of life, and are just constantly on the run. Because if you don't have the time to plan your food, what do? You grab what you have available. Now, over the years, for me, I tend to just go into like a fast or I do something like that. I don't tend to grab anything that is just like horrible for me. I'm very specific about what I eat and what goes in my body anymore. Sometimes I'll get maybe like a quote unquote healthy bar or something like that. And this is where I grab things I don't technically want to eat, because some of these bars have a lot of sugar in them. So when we're looking at eating healthy, looking at improving our health, planning is key. I really push people to spend the time maybe on a Sunday and do some meal prepping. Prep for the week. I mean, don't make meals complicated. If you have to just maybe do some turkey and cheese roll-ups, it's a great way to throw something together that's simple, that's easy, that is going to keep you on your diet. So planning your meals is incredibly important. Plan, plan, plan. If you have a plan, you can stick to it. If there is no plan, well then that's just chaos, okay? And you can't ever improve your health or lose weight under the premise of functioning under chaos. Now, the next thing we want to look at is stop eating before you're full. It takes a while for your mind to catch up with your stomach. Some experts recommend that you stop eating when you're 80% full. Doing so is associated with weighing less and living longer. Now, whenever we look at food science, one of the things we always see is people who eat less tend to live longer. It's what we always come across. And that's why I'm such a big advocate of, not overeating, right? Because when you're overeating, you're basically just pushing your body to work harder in a very unnecessary way. Your body doesn't need all that food. It doesn't need that energy, but yet you're stuffing it in. So your body's just working much harder than it needs to. But the other thing that happens here, and another thing that that I see happen all the time, is a lot of people who are doing fasting can come off and do some serious binges. Okay, if you're intermittent fasting, we have to make sure that we stop eating before we're 100% full, because if you're just like kind of coming into that first meal and you're really hungry, well, one of the things that can happen is that you just stuff yourself to capacity, okay? So think of that. Next time you go to eat, don't eat until you can't fit another piece of food in. Eat until you feel comfortable, and see how far that gets you, because that will really make big changes, especially for anybody who wants to lose weight. Pay attention to what you're drinking. Soda and fruit juice are full of sugar, but many people don't realize how much. That's because the sugar is dissolved into liquid, so manufacturers can pack a lot into your drink without it being visible. If people could literally pick up a can of soda, if people could pick up a bottle of many of the teas that are out there, all the sweet teas and stuff like that, they would literally put it right back down if they could visually see how much sugar is in that bottle. A 12-ounce can of Coca-Cola has about a quarter of a cup of sugar. That's a lot. Why is sugar a problem? Because it's taking in high levels of sugar promotes inflammation, leads to weight gain, and increases your risk for diabetes and also high blood pressure. Not to mention, these are empty calories, okay? This means that you are consuming a lot of calories that have no nutritional value. So we want to make sure that we're always paying attention to our drinks. I mean, obviously drink water whenever possible and just stick to that, okay? Good filtered water is the way to go. Drinking some sparkling water here and there is good. Drinking some lemon water, switching it up in small ways teas to help you stay on track is a good thing. Drinking some different unsweetened teas. However, if you have to turn to all these sugary sweet teas and sodas and all that, you are literally going to destroy your health. This stuff is really bad for you. Not to mention, they're typically sweetened with like a corn syrup, which is very promoting a fatty liver and many other metabolic diseases. Eat lots of colors. Eating a wide variety of colorful food, especially in the form of fruit and vegetables, ensures that you're getting a wide range of nutrients. When you're thinking about what to eat, just work your way through the rainbow: red peppers, tomatoes, orange citrus, squash, carrots, yellow beans. You get the point. Here's the thing, is that we as humans are, and just through like primal instincts, we like to eat colors. It's fact, okay? Go down the cereal aisle at the store and tell me that you are not more attracted to the food with all the beautiful colors in it. I mean, this attracts kids and makes kids want to, ask their parents to buy these different cereals, these different bars. Colors are something that we are naturally attracted to. And if it wasn't the case, then there'd be no reason for all these silly companies to put tons of food coloring in the foods that they're making, the drinks that they're making. And so make sure that you're eating your colors, but stick to eating colors that are coming from fruits and vegetables. And here's the other thing. If you want to eat healthy, once again, I like to keep things really simple. If you want to eat healthy, focus on eating meat and vegetables, okay? Like a lot of people are going, oh man, these diets are so complicated, and keto and fat, and what are my macros, and get into all these crazy little concerns. But they're missing the big point, okay? Cut the sugar out. Lower the carbs down. Stop eating processed foods. Stick to meat and vegetables. You're gonna go a long ways with that information alone. Get cooking. This actually means a couple of things. First, by cooking your own food, you're using simple ingredients and have control over what's going in your meals. This is a very excellent point, because when we look at many of these store-bought, prepackaged meals, it's unbelievable. Most people can't even begin to comprehend the ingredients on it. It's like, wait, how come this what appears to be a simple meal has 50 ingredients in it, half of which I don't understand? When you see the food, you know what it is. It's some chicken, some other rice thing, and something with some cheese in it. It's like you can identify what it is, but when you read the ingredients, you can't even begin to comprehend it. We have to make sure that we're getting rid of all these really unhealthy ingredients. If you can't understand it, then don't eat it. Second, in Chinese medicine, cooking your food instead of eating it raw energetically warms it up and makes it easier to digest. It takes a lot of energy for your body to break down very fibrous foods, but cooking them even just a little breaks down the fibrous cell walls and makes the nutrients more available for you to digest and absorb. Many people when it comes to veggies, they do much better if they steam them, if they cook them a little bit versus just eating them raw. So something to think about. If you have a little bit harder time digesting veggies, consider starting to steam them and cook them a little bit. Don't skip breakfast. I'm not even going to read this because it literally, I should read it. I should give it a chance, right? I have to have an open mind, and I do always try to have an open mind, but I never like information like this, because it just falls on the ideology that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and it's not. A lot of people tell me they just aren't hungry first thing in the morning. However, eating just a small amount of food helps to level out your blood sugar, decrease food cravings, and lowers the risk of you grabbing a sugar-laden donut mid-morning. Okay. Basically, what I'm going to recommend here is you always skip breakfast. And there's going to be two simple reasons I'm going to recommend it. And if you're skipping breakfast, you're basically going to do what's referred to as 16 and 8 intermittent fasting. And if you are somebody who is not familiar with this, be sure to check out my main channel, Dr. Nick Zyrowski, where I have probably 40 different videos on how to properly intermittent fast and implement it into your lifestyle. And so intermittent fasting is going to be great. And it's going to really help you burn fat. It's going to support the process of breaking down old damaged cells in your body, replacing them with new ones. It's going to help decrease inflammation. It's going to help healing across the entire body. It's great for your gut health. It is great for so many areas of your health. I recommend everybody do 16 and 8 intermittent fasting. Now, the other reason I think it's very beneficial to skip breakfast is because for most people, they don't have a problem of under consuming calories throughout the day, but they have a problem of over consuming calories. And so if you're intermittent fasting, it's much easier to eat the proper amount of calories throughout the day. I know for me, if I eat breakfast and if I eat lunch and if I eat dinner, it's very easy for me to go way over on my daily calorie intake that I should be having. So therefore, intermittent fasting basically pulls that meal out. It helps me stay on track with my calories and helps me eat right. I'm a huge fan of it. By the way, if you love the content on this channel, please do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell, because the fact is that subscribes on these channels hardly means anything anymore. So hit that little bell there. And then lastly, comment in the comment section below. What do you think of this information? Do you think that following a diet should be complex? What's your #1 strategy? Comment, give this video a thumbs up, because the fact is YouTube algorithm doesn't really like this type of natural health content, and I want to help you live a better life. So anything you can do to help me get it out to not only all your friends, but thousands of people, millions of people across the world, I'd greatly appreciate it. Share it with your friends as well. That's also very helpful. Let's go on to the next one. Get clean. When you can, choose local organic foods. Also become label savvy. If you're considering buying foods that has unpronounceable ingredients, which we talked about, put it right back on the shelf. It's full of stuff that's not necessarily food. A better choice is to eat foods that are in their original form. Now, when we look at this particular topic, this is very important. Okay, not only do we want to make sure that we are going and eating foods that we can understand and pronounce, but we also want to make sure that we are eating foods that are free of chemicals. Okay, when we look at just veggies and fruits in general, right? We might think to ourselves, well, yeah, if we eat fruits and veggies, we're automatically healthy. Not necessarily. This stuff is loaded with so many chemicals, so many pesticides, genetically altered. I mean, why do we need to eat food that's genetically altered? I mean, it's a silly thing, right? Let's just eat food the way that nature intended it. We don't need some a company going out and concocting some type of fruit or veggie in a lab and then feeding it to us. I mean, so always look for non-GMO, always look for things that aren't covered in pesticides, buy organic whenever possible. Typically what you want to do, especially when it comes to fruits and veggies, think of it this way. If the fruit or the veggie has like a thick skin on it, then you know that it's a little bit more protected if you're taking a layer off. Think of an orange, for instance, it has a big thick skin on it, right? So as they spray it, there's less of a likelihood of those pesticides getting into that fruit. However, if you take something like an apple, right? I mean, you're going to just eat the whole thing. You're going to eat the skin, everything. And the apple is one of the most highly sprayed fruits on the planet. So it's loaded with chemicals. Strawberries are another one. Blueberries, all the different berries, which are incredibly micronutrient dense and healthy for you, lots of antioxidants, but it's not healthy if it's full of chemicals. So always buy organic whenever possible. And remember this little concept too. A lot of times when people hear, well, you have to buy organic and that's the way to eat, and you want to make sure that you're buying grass-fed meat, and you start looking at all these rules, it becomes a lot for some people because they look at it and they go, that's going to be too expensive. I can't afford that. What you can always do is try to find local resources. Go to the farmers markets, go to the local farms, create relationships with local farms. I mean, all the meat that we get in our house, for instance, like it all comes from a small local farm. Now, if we were to go to the store and buy grass-fed meat, yes, it would be very expensive, but we find resources outside the store. And not to mention, these farmers, like you get to know them, you can trust them, and it's a much better way to go because it helps them, helps the little guy out versus giving all your money to big companies. Next thing is go for the rough stuff. Make sure basically that you're eating lots of veggies throughout the day, okay? It's very important to get your veggies in. A lot of vitamins and minerals are found in your veggies. We want to make sure that we're doing that because it's good for our gut health. You get that fiber in there. It's good for the microbiome. And then this way, you're able to promote gut health. So as we look at improving our health in general, these are some pretty great tips, okay? It's not complicated, it's super easy, but if you're looking to lose weight and you're looking to improve your health, why not stick to the easy topics? Like I said, a lot of people, they do deep dives into a lot of just very detailed information about diets that literally won't hardly move the needle for them or get them where they need to be. So keep it simple, stay focused on the end goal, and remember you're always in it for long-term sustainability, not just short-term gains. All right, hope you enjoyed this video. Check out some of the other ones on this channel.